my name's Liam Watt, and I'm a co-op student here at Aquaterra, and I've been here for 4 months. This month, I've been updating some drawings for specifically one of the parts of our treatment process. It's called the ATADS, and I had started this last co-op video, and we'd done the first walkthrough, started doing those updates, and then the further I got, we figured I had to go back and get a second look at it, and I got to go out with our process specialist and ask some questions, and he was able to give me a bit more clarity on what some certain things do, and I could track that process a little better. And then I've been doing like a final draft for that drawings. Me and Dustin also got to do some fleet inspections for the engineering vehicles. And finally, I got to work with GIS a little bit to update some of their mapping and just add some information to that. Cool to update some of these drawings and get a better understanding of how those ATADs work, because I think when you're updating those drawings, it forces you to know the process so you can actually tell the story on paper. I really enjoyed my time here at Aquaterra. Going into my work term, I wasn't sure if wastewater and water would be so interesting, to be honest, but there's a lot to it, and I found it super enlightening to see the whole process that I hadn't really thought much about, because I'm from the country and we get our water from a well, so I hadn't put much thought into how it would be done in the city, to be honest. And then to get to work for not only the treatment process, but Aquaterra's other facilities like the landfill, and see a little bit of what they do at DC. And I didn't even know we had those departments before. So I feel like I've got to interact with people who know their field and learn a lot about those specific fields. So that's been awesome. I'd say first and foremost, I just learned a lot about the wastewater treatment process, as well as the processes at a landfill. And our landfill is a little more, I'd say, interesting than a lot of other landfills, because we actually recover some of those gases from the ground and we convert that to energy. So we use those gases the same way that you'd use natural gas to produce heat or electricity, and then we power our treatment plant with those. So it's a lot to learn from that landfill that I didn't really expect, and some stuff that I found super interesting there. Yeah, I'd say it was the landfill gas project. So for that gas recovery project that I was just talking about, we'd seen a bit of a dip in the production and how much gas we were recovering, and hand in hand how much electricity we were producing. So I got to look at a bunch of data and try to help figure out what we could do differently and what changes we could make to get those numbers to where they used to be. And that was a really cool project to work on, because I got to kind of see it through from start to finish, where we had this big problem of our numbers were down, and then I got to see how the different people involved in that project all played a role in it, and I got to play a little bit of a role myself with the data we collected. And it was cool because we got a solution to that problem, you could say. Like, we actually started seeing the numbers go back up to where they used to be. So that was exciting to be a part of. My biggest challenge throughout the whole work term, it's pretty general, but just never having done any engineering experience, it was just a bit of a challenge to learn the different softwares and the different, like when you're reading a drawing, all the symbology and the words they use. So just maybe learning the more technical side of those things, and then getting familiar with wastewater and water treatment while I was doing that was a bit of a challenge. Just you kind of just get thrown into all of it at once, but it helped me grow in the long run. So right now I'm kind of just getting set to go back to school for 8 months, and I haven't thought a ton about what I want to do after that, but I'm hoping to get some different industry experience to see what I like and what I don't like. So even if I do oil and gas or a consulting company and I hate it, I think that's better than not having done it at all. I just kind of need to either cross some things off my list or decide what I want to do. So I guess you could say my goal is see as many different industries that I can and make a decision on which one is best for me. Some goals that I'd have, I guess, would just be getting even more familiar with AutoCAD, because I've got to spend a lot of time in AutoCAD when I've been updating these drawings for the ATADs. And I'm excited about that because I actually take the AutoCAD course in school this summer. So I get a head start on that. So maybe my goal would be to keep getting better at AutoCAD before I take it in school. Oh man, I can't think of many things. I really enjoyed it and felt that I learned a ton just because of how it was structured. But I will point out some things that we could emphasize on that I found really benefited me, and one was the time I got to spend in the field was really beneficial, because oftentimes I'd get to do some of the background work in the office. Like, let's say I was updating a drawing or something, and then I get to go to that actual ATAD and see in person how that process worked and talk to some operators who do the hands-on stuff with it. So you get that different perspective too. So I'd say that field work really benefited me. Maybe just getting to see those different departments. So I got to work with the landfill, I got to see some of the water treatment stuff with those ATADs, and I got to work at the office too. And I think that really benefited me, just to see all those people's work, their different fields, and learn a really broad spectrum of things. It's not like I was just in one area the whole time and just learning about strictly wastewater. I got to see a lot of things and absorb a lot of information from those people. Yeah, it definitely did. It exceeded my expectations, especially as a first year co-op term. I know a lot of people who literally just enter data into a computer for 4 months, and I got to see a ton of things, and I'm super happy about that. I just want to say thank you to everybody who was so willing to teach me things, especially I knew nothing coming in, and everyone was so willing to share their experiences and their expertise with me. And just a big thanks to the engineering department, especially, for taking me on and teaching me so much.